I was literally just talking to myself. I didn't even have my microphone on. But yes, we are live now. Welcome back to another stream. This one is gonna be a shorter stream. Um, and this morning we are currently seeing a couple of tornado, well, several tornado warnings. A majority of them currently are in North Carolina at the moment, which a lot of these are kind of just areas of weaker rotation. So you can kind of see that little area there. Although we're kind of far from some of these with the radars, but we'll switch over to one of the other radars real quick here. Although it may take a little while, so we'll just give it a minute. Although we could actually switch over to GR2 analysis, but oh, that's actually a lot faster than it was yesterday. That's actually an improvement over yesterday. But speaking of yesterday, Helene made landfall as Category 4 and also caused, of course, a lot of wind damage down in Florida. And of course, there is, as you can kind of see on screen here, with a bunch of different flash flood emergencies that kind of stem all the way from Virginia and then all the way down to portions. I think that's right, and I think that's just I think that's in South Carolina there, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, and then there is also another flash flood emergency which covers areas of Atlanta and then also Tucker and Peachtree, Berkeley, and Lilburn in Georgia. Let me just turn on my tornado warning stuff and turn off my hurricane warning stuff. I'll keep on a tropical storm stuff because this is still a tropical storm, but is a lower. I think it's either a middle or lower end tropical storm at the moment. It is forecasted to start dying down as it goes throughout as we go out throughout today. Could still see a bunch of rain and of course especially the rain, actually, because we are seeing that kind of flooding risk ongoing through this kind of little segment here. So kind of like quadrants, plank, thunderstorms. There are quite a few storms from just kind of like the remnants of Tropical Storm Helene. Just give it a, just gotta trying to load up the LWIR real quick here, if that'll load up. Mass clouds. I don't know about mass clouds, but definitely could see a couple of brief spin-ups possibly throughout today, and also just a couple of brief rotations through severe warning storm, or not severe warning storms, but tornadic warning storms from low top supercells that are going to be ongoing throughout today with some remnants of tropical storm Helene. The radar Omega is taking a long time this morning for some reason. Although if I turn on IR, okay, there we go. Now, let me just turn on a CONUS and turn off these. So you can kind of see how it's kind of all just spread out from kind of like all the remnants of Tropical Storm Helene, going all the way down from the south to North Carolina, all the way up towards Missouri, and also a little bit of northern Illinois, and also a little bit of Michigan as well, actually. Now I'm looking at it as well. We have currently 2 tornado warnings, which I think this one was just the recently issued one right here. So GR2 analysis is still updating itself. Yeah, there's still a bunch of convection that is kind of just around in here, these areas here. So I'll have to see on Twitter if that is indeed a new tornado warning, because it looks like it is a newer tornado warning for Garland, Roseboro, Clinton, and I think Salemburg is going to be included in that as well, and Keener, Basstown, Beeman, Crossroads, and Hargrove Crossroads and Poplar Grove and Giddensville. Yep, this is a new tornado warning. So let me just switch over to radar real quick here. Just gotta give it a few moments here. I am kind of curious of what how much is weakened overnight. Because I know it's weakened quite a bit from overnight into this morning. So yeah, basically it's basically the threshold of a tropical storm. It looks like, which well, pressure's still pretty low. Looks like, although it's much higher than it was last night. Because last night I think it got down to like 938 and pressure, and now it's up to 975. It's moving quicker, of course, since it's basically starting to wind down as we go throughout today. Moving north at 32 miles per hour. There is another tropical storm apparently, which is out in it's in the central tropical Atlantic, but it looks like it's gotta be mostly just out into the Atlantic rather than going towards the U.S. Which, let me just kind of pull up that graphic real quick here with window capture, wherever window capture is. Tropical Storm Joyce. So here's Tropical Storm Joyce. This is the other one that's kind of out there right now. I think also Isaac is out there as well. But I don't know how far that went or if it's strengthened or not. Because I know yesterday I was looking at I was looking at yesterday and it said it would be strengthening to hurricane. So as you can kind of see, it kind of sorry, it's like as of like 11 a.m. EDT, it's kind of right here with where that center of low pressure is at, and then it continues being a tropical storm, and then kind of goes back to a depression on Tuesday. So some clouds are 40,000 feet tall. I don't know if they're actually 42,000 feet tall, because typically you're not really gonna find tall cloud tops with Oh, it looks like from radar here that is actually looks like to be 40,000 feet. Because sometimes when it comes even after hurricanes and tropical storms, sometimes you don't really find tall cloud tops. Typically they're gonna be 20 to 30,000 feet in the air compared to 40,000. How many bands of rain in the northern United States? Um, let me see. Although it's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little while for Radio Omega to kind of load. Which actually, I say is Chicago. Okay, sure. I was gonna say I was hoping Chicago's uh radar was gonna be online, which it is, because the other day it was down for a couple days. So let's kind of see. I'm looking at year two. So a lot of the kind of precipitation it looks like is kind of like in almost to all the way like almost to central Illinois there, and then yeah, it's kind of like the central areas here looks to be, and precipitation there, and anything. So it's kind of almost like in these areas here, basically, all the way covering Tennessee, Central Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, and of course North Carolina, and a bit of South Carolina, I think, as well. If I take a look. Which I may need to So this is why I like having these two radar apps, because I can kind of switch between the two in case one's being slower than the other, which is what is currently happening right now. So I'm looking at GR2 analysis, and a lot of the rain, any like rain, it's kind of just moved out of South Carolina at this point, and most of it's kind of just focused in between like Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia, and also portions of North Carolina. And then also the southwestern area of Indiana. I accidentally switched over to a terminal on GR2. And then also a little bit of Missouri, and also Arkansas looks like it's also getting a little bit of that rain as well. Which also another thing I was gonna say too, because I know West Virginia was has been needing rain for a while. Same with Ohio. Those two places have been needing rain for a while at this point in time. I think let me look at the drought monitor, because I know they update it weekly. See what's kind of changed, if anything. So yeah, Ohio still has that drought going on. Uh, Although I imagine after this, it's probably gonna be updated more as they're receiving that rainfall. Tornado warning that includes Danville, Virginia, Mount Hermon, Virginia, and Blairs, Virginia, until 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So Florida is basically almost the entire state of Florida has no drought, of course. Although I wonder when the last time that was kind of updated. Last week to current, 9/17, current 9/24. Even with the current, which is maybe 3 days ago, which that was days before Helene made landfall. Storm surge, of course, this morning is not going to be a concern since that portion of event slash portion of Helene has basically kind of died out at this point. And also, all that water that was surged as well should start to recede back into the Gulf and all that as well, anyways. Hurricane Isaac. Okay, there's the other one I was talking about earlier. That looks to be currently it's a hurricane. 981 minimum pressure, 75 max sustain. So this looks to be category 1 at the moment. Tropical Storm John is still going, surprisingly, and it's going back out into the Pacific as a depression. Got Tropical Storm Joyce out there right now, as mentioned earlier. I just saw a video uploaded by Ben Williams from it's from yesterday with the with landfall of Hurricane Helene. Ugh. So I probably should drink some water this morning as well. That'd probably be helpful, especially with all the talking I did yesterday, because I did. I mean, there was moments there that didn't have. There were moments that were kind of like dead, and then other times I was kind of talking. Let's take a quick look at the tornado warning over by Clinton. Of course, I've got to switch over to Storm Relative Velocity. We are only a minute behind. That's a world record. So that right there is most likely what got warned. Kind of jump in scans there. That's what happens sometimes when radar doesn't update that quick on Radar Omega. Also, if I had a quick sweep scan, which is I think like $9 a month, I probably would be able to get quicker scans, but I don't know if I want to pay $9 for that, to be honest. Especially since already paying quite a bit of money already for the subscription I have right now on Radar Omega. So we got another 4 minutes on the tornado warning that is for Hightowers, Baines, Ridgeville, Frogsboro, Top Knot, Pleasant Grove, Yanceyville, Leesburg, Covington, Hammer, Estelle, Samora, Blanche, and Pearlie. And Pearlie is also covered by this tornado warning here, which is also for Park Spring, Providence, Danville, Green Acres, and all the areas that kind of surround Danville. You got Mount Herman, of course, Pleasant Gap, Hopewell, Dry Fork, and Kentuck, and Beaver Park. Honestly, Frogsboro is gonna be the coolest name. I don't know if that's I don't know if it's just because frogs are cool. So I saw also a video from Brandon Kopic yesterday. A whole shed was being just blown over by the gusty winds from Hurricane Helene's landfall, which the wind gusts were up to like 160, which was insane. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like really strong, especially since I was like right near the eye wall as well. Typically, when you get near the eye wall, that's when the winds get stronger. Then they kind of like die out, and then you get that back side of the wall. Which I am kind of curious as well. If we can see any. Okay, Panthers. Got something. Okay, I was gonna say, are the Panthers Carolina Panthers? Are they playing? When are they playing? 29th. So they're playing in the next couple days, it looks like. All roads in western North Carolina should be considered closed. Yeah, there's a lot of flooding ongoing over in western North Carolina, which I mean, kind of see why with all the flash flood emergencies over in this portion of the state over here. So I wonder if we got any cameras still down in the Mesavore areas, I should say. Oh wow, look at all that. That's like all that kind of like that's definitely all from like probably trees and like good like actual golf itself on the ground there. And look at that. I mean, it's not the best quality that we could see, but you can kind of see all the like debris that's in the ground. That's definitely that definitely was not there the other day, or not the other day, yesterday. That boat is now existing there. Anything here? Nothing much other than like waves. That's about it. I don't know if we got anything else. So I do want to check the power outages .us website. So there's about almost 1 million people out in Florida. Although I do imagine they are starting to get their power back as it is now morning hours. And of course, rescue efforts are also being made most likely since there will be flooding and whatnot, and also debris as well. Let me just kind of show where is not that that. All right, that is definitely not the correct thing. Where is the power? Okay, there we go. So here's the power outages. This is, say, Florida. You can kind of see where that Big Bend area is. A lot of power outages in this portion of Florida here. This was last updated about 4-ish minutes ago. Oh, I gotta like clear my nose real quick. All right, there we go. That should be good there. So Big Bend area, of course, has the most power outages since that is where it made landfall. Got quite of course, down here is kind of, I think this, yeah, a lot of these areas down here are getting the power back, of course. Let's check Georgia. Let's see. A lot of areas along this portion of Georgia have a lot of power outages over in this corner. So what county is Georgia land in is my question. That's what I'm kind of curious of. See. Peachtree G City GA. That's not gonna help. So I would say try it I guess we could try and find the specifics, but I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna search this up. What county is Atlanta in? Fulton. Okay. See how many people are out of power in Fulton right now. If I can find it. Okay, there we go. 26,905 people without power. So I have especially from this morning, I have a feeling that probably was higher this morning. Especially since there's that many people that live in Fulton County, since that's where Atlanta is there. Let's see, South Carolina. Lots of people in this portion over here without power. Greenville, over 100,000 people. Almost 172,000 people without power in Spartanburg. North Carolina, this portion of the state here where all that flooding, ongoing flash flooding is going on, flash flood emergencies. Kind of same thing when it comes to Virginia as well. This portion of the state here is also without a lot of power, of course. And that's also where the flash flood emergencies are at as well. We are down to 2 tornado warnings at the moment. Although I have a feeling these two, I think this one got condensed there. This one I think is still kind of the same, but for the most part, I think those are probably going to be ending up expired out in the next probably couple minutes. So Isaac is a hurricane. Indeed is a hurricane. Currently, max sustain being at 75, and pressure being at 981. And that is heading away from the U.S. And it is forecast to be at 8 a.m. Monday, which that's Eastern time most likely. A tropical storm, and then it kind of just dies out basically. So we have a lot of activity ongoing in the Atlantic currently. Because we also have another tropical storm in the Atlantic as well, which is Tropical Storm Joyce. And that one is forecast to kind of steer away from the U.S. compared to actually going towards the U.S. at the moment. And then, of course, in the eastern North Pacific, we have Tropical Storm John, which that one, of course, is not going towards the U.S. and it is, well, hitting it's hitting Mexico at the moment, the southern portion of Mexico. And then we have a couple power outages over in Kentucky, which would be this portion of the state here. And we also in Tennessee, this portion here. Okay, that's kind of interesting how these two counties are not a whole lot of people, but then over here, there's a bunch of people. And then there's these two counties, which no data there. I don't know if that's just because no people live there, or if that's just due to geography. I imagine it's just due to geography. Yeah, it's due to the geography over here. Although over here, they got a couple smaller towns, so I'm not sure. Let me look back at the, let me just kind of move this. Hold on. If I can, I'm clicking on YouTube Studio instead of my OBS. I don't know what I'm doing. So, alright. Let's click on this. So we've got two counties here, which would be these here. And there's no data for them. Although there is a couple towns in these areas. So I'm not sure. Unless they're just completely out of power or something. I'm not 100% sure. So I got 9 minutes on that one there, surprisingly. And then you got regular flash flood warning there. So 9 minutes. And we'll be back down to, well, we still got tropical storm warnings, although I don't know how long those are going to be actually lasting, because, I mean, most of the, ow, my knee! Because a lot of the precipitation's kind of just moved out of, South Carolina. And it's mostly up in these areas here. That's where all that precipitation is at. If I can draw. So kind of like in these areas here is where all that precipitation is at this point, since Hurricane Helene has really started to die out. That radar that's just the east of Vilstota is down. Jacksonville is back to normal. So let's see if we got any messages. Oh wow. Still got some stuff from last night, looks like, with the radar, since it's been down since then. That's where that eye wall was last night, making landfall. Kind of interesting to see older radar data when while radars are down. Okay, we're down to one tornado warning, which is gonna be in the area of Clinton and North Carolina. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning. That's the first severe thunderstorm warning I've seen in a while. This one has a tornado possible tag on it. This severe thunderstorm warning could be for the areas of Bald Head Island, Fort Caswell, Caswell Beach, Southport, Carolina Beach, Myrtle Sound, and of course all the way up to Wrightsville and Lincoln Forest, Glenmead, Wilmington, and portions of Bowling Spring Lakes, and of course Southport there. Let's try and see if we can get a quick look at exactly where this rotation is at. Still got another 7 minutes on that tornado warning. No hail on that one there. Let's see. You may hit this, even at storm relative velocity, it's not very clear. Which actually, as I say that, how far behind? Okay, we're only 2 minutes behind. I want to make sure we're not that far behind on radar. Because sometimes we're like far behind on radar, and it somewhat becomes a guessing game on Radar Omega. Which, if there is any rotation on this, it's most likely would be this little spot here. Since typically that's where you gotta find your rotation, like these little indents there. Although I do want to take a look at high res activity again real quick here as well. Special marine warning, coastal waters. Severe thunderstorms could be capable of producing water spouts, so we're gonna be dealing with a water spout situation if that does get tornado warned. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be that right here, this little area here that is severe warned here. And surprisingly, we do have a well, of course, tornado possible that wind gusts up to 60, and then surprisingly, actually hails in there as well. Looks like one up to 1 inch size hail on that. Still got another 4 minutes on the tornado warning over in North Carolina. Continue to be in shelter while this is still while this is still uh kind of just warned at the moment. Which I most likely will just keep my radar on this right now. Uh what just happened? Okay, that's okay, that was weird. It went back like an hour and then it kind of just went and I just kind of fixed it there. I don't know what happened. High wind warning in for Clark, Clay, and Coles, Crawford, Cumberland, Douglas, Edgar, Effingham, Jasper, Lawrence, Moultrie, Richland, and Shelby, Illinois. That's something I was not expecting today. Wait, do I have the high wind warning on Radar Omega? I don't. I think I do. Because I know I turned it on yesterday. High wind. Yeah, there we go. There's the high wind warnings. High wind watch. Probably I probably don't even really need that. So yeah, the high wind warnings are kind of just there now. 5 to 10 p.m. Central Time. North winds 20 to 35 yeah, 25 to 30 5 miles per hour with winds and then wind gusts up to 60 expected. The Ryan Hall y'all's weather house cameras down looks like. Probably could have gotten a good look at where this is at on his camera, but kind of down at the moment. This tornado watch also does go for another 6 hours, which will be around. So what time will that be? 6 p.m. Eastern time. It looks like 2 tornadoes are possible. Tornado threat east of the center. Helene will shift northward across the watch area throughout today. North Carolina, Eastern South Carolina, Southern Virginia, and coastal waters, of course. And we no longer have a tornado warning. We now only have a tornado watch at the moment. Got the special weather statement for gusty winds there. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Flash flood warnings kind of stemming all the way from actually also covering Raleigh there. Got a bunch of special marine warnings. This one's about to expire out in the next minute. Then we got this new one along here that is going to be for severe storms that are capable of producing water spouts. Looks like I'll be kind of just sitting on velocity real quick here. Although I do kind of want to check out the precipitation that's kind of ongoing over in this portion of South Carolina and North Carolina here. Because I know that's like an area right now that's kind of receiving a lot of, well, reports of flash flooding at the moment. I don't know if I've heard anything out of Atlanta. Let me check on. Let me see if I can find something on that real quick. Hold up. Peachtree Creek in the Atlanta area. Okay, that's on velocity. Let me turn that back. So it doesn't look like there's any rain, but there is flash flooding from the previous night or throughout earlier, way earlier this morning at least. So where is it? This could be it, right? Yeah, no, that's the wrong thing. Where is it at? That's not it. That's Tropical Storm Joyce. I don't know why this is not wanting to show up. Okay, there we go. So here's a couple of videos from the Atlanta area here. Kind of see all that flooding down the street here. That's you can literally see. I think that looks like to be some type of tub right there. It's kind of just overflowing. And this was from earlier this morning at 6:58 with these with this post here. Car completely submerged. Trash can falling over. I was gonna say that's one thing about when it comes to floodwaters. It looks like there's not much, but then when you see this, yeah, that's pretty deep. And also a lot of rain and also water that kind of just built up in this area. See if we got anything else. This is Westminster Schools over in Atlanta. Completely flooded fields. Buckhead, Georgia, completely flooded streets. Cars submerged. This is from last night. Or actually, this is from very earlier this morning. Like, looks like around 3:12 in the morning. It looks like about completely flooded streets. A lot of debris on these cars as well from a low wind as well. More flooded streets and buildings. More rescue efforts from last night. It looks to be. I'm being saved from a car that was submerged in water there. More rescue efforts and, of course, disaster cleanup, of course. Trees falling down. Perry, Florida is trending for some reason. Casually jogging in the middle of a Category 4 hurricane. Whoa! This is Ryan Schull. That is a whole power flash right there. This was when the eye wall was kind of hitting the area where a bunch of storm chasers were kind of at. Look at the wind and rain being blown around, or the wind blowing the rain around. It's crazy, man. Can't see. Can't barely even see in front. It's like fog. And that was radar loops. This is a radar loop from earlier this morning with all the rain that was falling from tropical storm Helene, since it was making its way. A lot of areas you can see from radar with all that precipitation and the rain that kind of built up in that area. More streets and also parking lots flooded, of course, as you can kind of see. More cars submerged as well. So I feel like I've seen this video like several times already while scrolling. But it really just shows you how big an event this was, especially for flooding. Even the dorms, Clark Atlanta University dorms, even in flooding as well. Oh, that's another picture right there. This is also another thing too. So this is and his is in Buccaneer Mike Mick. I read that as Mike, but that's Mick's sister's basement. This is another thing with basements flooding as well from all the rain that kind of fell over in this area. Because that's one thing I was worried about as well with Hurricane Helene into Tropical Storm Helene is if people can't find a place that's like safe in their like basement and the basement's just absolutely just flooded, which is also why the most interior part of your building would be the next safest place if your basement's flooded. Still got this super dark warning still going on for another 24 minutes. Let's check up here. Got this tornado report from earlier today. Uh, Near Pipestem, West Virginia, amateur radio, trees and power lines down roofs of garages. And you can still see all that precipitation in this area here coming down, even as Tropical Storm Helene is starting to wind down. Which max sustained, I think, I don't know if that's changed or not. I think it did. Well, it still seems the same. 45 miles per hour winds, 6 sustained. Minimum pressure 975. Still moving north than 32. Public advisory. Tropical storm warning for Georgia coast has been discontinued. All storm surge warnings have been discontinued. Tropical storm warning is in effect for Savannah River. Surprisingly, I'm surprised that they're continuing the tropical storm warnings especially since a lot of the precipitation has kind of moved out of this area compared to being up here. So even though we're not really seeing a whole lot of like tornadic activity, still can see a couple brief rotations throughout today, which would be warned throughout today. I wonder if we can get the loop going. Oh, it may take a little while though. That's the only thing. Because Radar Omega, I mean, it's been the radars have been updating pretty quickly, relatively quickly, compared to yesterday. Although it still takes them a while to get all the frame loop going, still. But we'll give them some time. We'll give it some time to load. But for now, I think for the most part, I'm just gonna switch over. Which radar is this? This could be the one in Virginia. So for now, I'm just gonna switch to probably GR2 analysis for now until this kind of just loads at the moment where you can actually see what's going on. Where is GR2? Oh wait, I forgot I had a completely separate thing for GR2 analysis for a reason. Okay, there we go. And I think this is kind of sized weird. Hold up. Oh, there we go. And Radar Omega's back. I say, does GR2 analysis take up? Okay, there we go. Yeah, for some reason, GR2 analysis takes up the most of the size on my screen. But that's probably because it's on my second monitor compared to my laptop. So let me just kind of see if I can kind of fix that. Although it doesn't seem like it's got one to fit properly. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Although it seems like it snaps on pretty nice there, apparently. I don't know why. But it works, I guess. But Radar Omega is now up and going now with the loop. So you can kind of see all that, all the like showers and storms kind of moving towards the north here. I probably should keep up the National Hurricane Center, see the next kind of up. Oh wait, I just realized I made several different tabs. Although I do want to keep the U.S. power outage U.S. still up, so we can kind of see where all the power outages are kind of at. And I can close out that Twitter tab. Same, I can close out the drought matter as well. All right, that should be good. A lot less space taken up compared to yesterday, that's for sure. Because yesterday I had GR2 analysis on top, right near the wind, where the meter is for the like velocity meter there, just below the uh, alert graphic, and then below that I had the College of DuPage satellite. So I had a few things going on with it. Vector rainfall and 2 to 3 inches in an hour. Demonstrate catastrophic, which we basically did see that basically. Radar indicated right there, which I'm kind of surprised is radar indicated, but that's probably because with the radar indicated showing all the rain that kind of fell over the like past couple of hours that this was kind of over Georgia, because Hurricane Helene still had a strong structure even after landfall. Still got this severe during some morning ongoing, of course. Let's see if anything has really changed on this one. I'm curious to see what has changed, if anything, on this. There probably hasn't been much change, but we'll have to see. Although it's taking its time to load. So we'll have to switch over to GR2 analysis. Alright, I'm back. My headset literally battery level medium. So my headset turned off since there's no audio going through it. Since my headset turns off when there's no audio for a set amount of time. See if we can see anything at all. maybe a little bit in this little area here, but nothing significant that I can really see out of this. Pretty weak rotation out of that. Special weather statement. Wind gust. Probably same thing with this one here. Pretty much. Yeah, I think a lot of I think from here on out, I think with a lot of special weather statements, we're probably gonna see quite a few special weather statements being for wind gust, since wind is still a factor with being a threat today, with one of the threats throughout today. Okay, there we go. And now we're on here. We may have a little bit of rotation out towards here. And possibly here, but we're pretty far from the radar to see out from the radar, kind of see exactly what that is there. This definitely looks like to be rotation there, and maybe there's something going on there. But yeah, for the most part, probably just brief. Well, most likely brief water spouts that are on the coast here, off the coast here, since that is what the special marine warning is for. Besides wind. So I want to see if the okay, so mesovorts are still there. A lot of the storm chasers are down in Tallahassee, which looks like even in Tallahassee, it looks like it's pretty much looks like nothing almost happened basically. But of course, a lot of the impacts were along the coast, the Big Bend area here compared to up here. So, however, this is like one of the areas that's basically like along the coast here. You can see a bunch of kind of just stuff from the Gulf basically along the beach here. I don't know what these are specifically called, but I know this was a lot more. I think this was a lot more clear than it was yesterday, for sure. Then we also got this boat that's basically smacked basically into this. This probably like smacked right into one of the pillars that's holding up the bridge. I don't know what that camera was highlighting there. I think it was highlighting the trailer. I don't think I've seen that happen on this camera. Obviously I've seen cars go through on this camera, but yeah, that is also one thing. A lot of the one things that were affected by Hurricane Helene, which was of course boats, because of course boats are out on the water, so they're gonna be pushed towards some other object, whether it be inland or just like some other thing that's in the water, such as like a dock. And that just got condensed there. 12 minutes remaining on that severe thunderstorm warning. And they just released a new outlook, which is it's gotta be the most squished outlook I've ever seen in my entire life for an enhanced risk. Because the one in the thumbnail it's basically what the current one was before it kind of changed. Um, so now it's kind of more squish. Hold on. Let's see if it updated on here. It did not update on here quite yet. See what the outlook for tomorrow is. Yeah, no severe weather expected, of course, since tomorrow is basically when Helene is basically almost completely dead, other than possibly some remnants with showers and some storms. There's also looks like a dam failure imminent in Rutherford County in North Carolina. So that's also going to be adding on to the flash flood emergency in Rutherford County. See if it updated now. So I thought I saw it update. Probably not. So I got that 10% there. Do they still have a 10% risk? Yeah, they still have that 10% risk, which is basically be once this updates on Red Omega, I'll show it on Red Omega, but they got a lot of the enhanced risk in South Carolina, North Carolina. Wind and hail risk, of course, less than 5%. Tornado risk is the main threat for today, other than flash flooding. See if it. Okay, there we go. Now it updated. So let's turn that off. Although we're still probably not gonna be able to see it. What is there? I thought there was a way to turn off. Okay, there we go. Turn off towns and stuff. So you can kind of see. Well, let me switch to another radar that we can actually properly see this at. So you can see it. They basically condensed it to here, all the way from kind of just down here, all the way from Southport, all the way up to that's Vandermeer. Looks like there, with the enhanced risk, and then all the way up towards Wilson in North Carolina. Okay. Still got that 10% tornado risk, although I think even with them having a 10% tornado risk on, I think that tornado risk is definitely lower than that 10%. Thought that we couldn't see a few brief spin-ups, but I think it's definitely lower than that 10%. So a lot of flooding. This was at the coast, looks like. Couple minutes behind on this radar. So yeah, that's that tornado risk on that in that enhance there. Oh, and then it kind of broke itself there, but okay, there we go. Now it's back. Yeah, if you live in any of these areas, you're pretty much done with that tornado risk at this point. So not a whole lot of activity at the moment. Do have a little bit of rotation going on off the coast there. I think yeah, that tornado, not tornado, that severe thunderstorm warning is now expired out at this point in time. Yeah, we definitely do have something out here towards off the coast here that's kind of rotating. See what we can see on velocity, because I know we can see in high res storm relative velocity, but can we see it on the just regular high res velocity? We probably can. Okay, yeah, we still can see on velocity right there. That's just wind right there. See if we can see anything. Let me go back to storm relative velocity real quick. See if there's anything else. I don't think there is anything else that is rotating that is noticeable. But we'll have to see. Once it loads back up with the storm relative velocity. Although we do actually have a tornado warning, actually. So, okay, there's that rotation right there. I mean it's broad rotation, but it's there. Well, let's see. Once I go back real quick here. It might have a couple notches along this line here, but that depends on what the reflectivity looks like. Which they could be embedded, but I don't think they're embedded. Might have a little bit of something going on there. Up here is that's where we got this area here. Might have something going on there. It's with that little notch. Alright, back. So that's not look impressive for rotation, because that rotation would be right in there. Might have something going on here and here. Once again, it depends on what the not the well, yeah, the reflectivity looks like on radar. Which we could see something out of those, if those are indeed areas of rotation. Still got broad rotation on this, but it is there. Slightly. Just slightly. So Radar Omega's taking a while to load again with previous frames. So do we have any cameras down here? That's what I want to know. So this is in Princeton. So Princeton would be, actually I could probably search this up. Maybe. Or not. Okay. Still got this tournament ongoing for another 26 minutes. So I would be kind of surprised if this does kind of continue, but we'll have to see. But I want to check off the coast again because I know there was a water spout possibly in that area. Storm Protection Center from Virginia to North Carolina. North Carolina to Virginia. Few brief tornadoes remain possible this afternoon. See if we got any updates. Nothing updated quite yet. Oh, there we go. So we got a couple areas here. This area is definitely defined. We got maybe a couple of these areas here. And also probably actually that right there looks to be kind of area of rotation too, actually, now that I'm looking at this. So we actually may actually have a few water spouts off the coast here. This one seems to be getting really close up to the beach here. We'll have to see if that gets a tornado warning or not. If see if we got is there any updates? No. I just so with the mesoscale discussion, few brief tornadoes remain possible through the afternoon with a weakening band of showers and thunderstorms moving across North Carolina and South Virginia. Uh, so it looks like even with that 10%, it looks like this is gonna be a threat that is gonna be very spotty throughout today. It looks like four tornadoes. Still looks like there is something in there just off the coast of the curb off Curb Beach here, or Sheephead Rock actually. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot with the rotation on this. I'm surprised it got condensed, but we'll have to see if anything does progress. I'm curious how many alerts we have as well. Tropical 102 tropical storm warnings, which I'm still surprised those are kind of going since a lot of the tropical storm areas have kind of moved out at this point. And it's kind of I mean, we still have tropical storm Helene, but where is that center of low pressure anyways at? That's what I'm kind of curious. So it's kind of in this area here as 11 o'clock Eastern time. Got a what special weather statement probably for yeah wind gust. And I said there also was a that's correct. I was gonna say that tropical storm that's out. Let me just pull up the kind of past track intensity and all that kind of stuff. This one over here, which is tropical storm Joyce, which is kind of like going away from Puerto Rico. We have another tornado warning, which is going to be another tornado warning that's in North Carolina, which is going to be for Franklinton, Henderson, and Middleburg. Nice. Switch over to velocity real quick. Which that rotation is not very strong at all. Pretty weak rotation at the moment. Could see something out of it, but I think it's at the most part just weak rotation at this point. See that wind field still down here with the tropical storm. Okay, so that's why there's still that tropical storm warning. Okay. Oh, there we go. So we gotta switch it back over. So that rotation could be right in there. It's a little bit messy, but some contamination. Okay, there we go. Now I think we got a much clearer picture. It's gonna be right in there. That where that rotation is at. Still radar indicated, but I want to check with that other one that is down here. They get condensed again, still continuing for another 14 minutes. Although I don't really see a whole lot at this point in time, so I would be surprised if they don't cancel it out. Unless they do end up canceling it, we'll have to see in the next couple scans, which we are on the current scan from about 2 minutes ago. When we really have Puerto Rico and Oregon. Well, next week there is, according to GFS, there is something next week, but it's still kind of too far out to kind of tell exactly if or when that is going to be happening. It looks like there is that tropical development chance area there, which at the current it's at 0, and then next 7 days 30%, which is that area that uh kind of just sitting there. This is probably that one thing that GFS is kind of picking up on for next week. But once again, we'll have to see if that does develop into anything at all. Which right now I don't really see a whole lot with it at the moment. Let me kind of switch over to the satellite real quick here, see if we could see anything like at all. Give it a moment. So let me just kind of switch over to the window capture of COD satellite. So where that development region is, which is down here, basically, well, here's the remnants of, well, now Tropical Storm Helene. You can kind of see there's really nothing, like, kind of forming there at the moment. Which I am kind of curious of what they're kind of saying here. Western Caribbean area of low pressure could form over the Western Caribbean Sea by middle of next week. Environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for slow thereafter, while the system moves generally north to westward, potentially entering the Gulf of Mexico by the end of next week. What is going on there? Oh, that's essential. No wonder why. I'm like, what is that? Okay, there we go. But yeah, you can kind of see there's really nothing kind of just there at the moment. So this one here is that other area that talk about here as well. But yeah, this one's just not. This one's just gonna be basically a fish chicane, I guess. Fish storm. So it's kind of just going off towards this way, or at least that. or at least that's what currently is being forecasted, where it kind of is just a fish storm right now, which it has a 20% here, and then it goes to like a 90 here. But yeah, not a whole lot with this region here with any development since we literally just had Hurricane Helene. Although over here, this looks with this region of development, it looks a little bit more developed with any storm development in this area. Also, I just realized as well that's on my chat. I'm creating a mirror. Something I can buy on live because hurricanes not arrive north Puerto Rico and do not travel further west in the area of Africa. I was gonna say because get that because I think there is that Bermuda high that's kind of just sitting there as well. Let's go check up on the tornado warnings real quick here, which generally not really expecting a whole lot out of these. This has got condensed again, I think. 7 minutes still left on that one until it's got 22 minutes on this one here. Let me take off the hurricane stuff real quick here. Okay, so okay, that tornado warning just got canceled out. So we got currently one tornado warning ongoing at the moment for Kittrell, Henderson, Millburg, and Sioux City, which our rotations book going to be right in there. It's not very strong rotation on that. That is a new tornado warning that just got issued. That is going to be for Clarksville, Boynton, Chase City, Dinedale, and Whiteman in Virginia. I think I need to switch over to. Is there a radar site closer to this? I think the one in North Carolina is going to be our closest to this. Compare the one over towards here or even here. Which I'm a little bit surprised. This one is having a hard time kind of seeing this. Because this one, I think it is actually. So I think this one's closer to. This one's the closest, but this one's like the next closest to it. And then this one over here. That's X velocity. See what he was doing on his. But obviously he's basically doing the same thing I'm doing, obviously. Um. Alright, here's pivotal weather. I just get the forecast loop here, because that'll be easier. I don't know why pivotal weather is always like zoomed out at like Mach 2. Mach 2? Okay, so that's Isaac right there. This is Helene. I don't know what's going on. You can kind of see where that high is at right there. And this would be Joyce right there. And you kind of see something else kind of starting to pop up behind Joyce. Oh, there. And about there, it looks like sometime looks like next week, Friday, Saturday. End of the week, like sometime next week, Friday or Saturday or Thursday, it looks like this could be kind of developing right there. Or actually starting to develop there, and then the hurricane. Although it doesn't look like it's gonna be as powerful as a hurricane. And whatever next hurricane this is gonna be, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty strong hurricane behind that one. But of course, this is like hundreds of hours. This is like hundreds of hours out. So anything is basically subject to change, and it can and would not be possibly accurate. So let's go over to European, wherever that's at. Here's a European. The European is way far back right now. I think a little bit. Let's see where Helene kind of dies out. And then European model kind of shows that system next week. A little bit different than the GFS. Although European model might be a little bit behind compared to the GFS, so because from this frame to that frame, yeah, it's definitely a little bit behind in data. Actually, I just realized I was not showing it the entire time. Actually, hold up. So, alright, here's the GF. That's CFS, not GFS. Where's the GFS? So this is GFS right here. I just kind of zoom that out. So you can kind of see where Helene is right there. And then you get Joyce, and then that would be Isaac, I think, right there. And then whatever this next system is. And then you kind of see like about here right where that next tropical system kind of forms. And it goes up a lot. It's definitely a lot slower than Helene was, it looks like. And then it kind of moves out. Although, I don't think it's gonna make that hard of a right turn like that, but looks like it just kind of stalls, and then it kind of moves up to right on the GFS. And then we go to the European. I think this one's the European, if I'm not mistaken. European is the one I was talking about that's a little bit behind. This is like current right now. And then you get your... Which your European shows this kind of system coming in a lot later than a GFS does. Looking in Puerto Rico area check because yeah, unless there's like something that's like really imminent in Puerto Rico, I'm not checking Puerto Rico. No, I'm just gonna check on why hurricanes are forming in Puerto Rico area. It just kind of depends on where each pressure area is at. Because like I said, you get that Bermuda high, and then you also got another high pressure that's over in the continental U.S. And then of course you get your low pressure, which is now tropical storm Helene. And then the high basically gets pushed over to Africa, as shown on the European. I think the GFS showed that as well. I think as well, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta check again real quick. Let me just forecast loop. So Bermuda high over Bermuda, and then kind of pops in and out, and then you get the high over by Africa. Same with Mexico. Although a lot of the tropical systems are kind of steering like south of Puerto Rico, looks like as well, or kind of just away from Puerto Rico in general and the Caribbean islands, other than a couple areas of low pressure, which are the next kind of just tropical storms, which is the next one next week looks like it could be forming near the near Cuba, not Cuba, yeah, Cuba. Which a lot of the hurricanes are probably riding up against that high pressure as well, and also the jet stream in general. Because a lot of times the jet stream too can kind of drive these systems away. Which I do want to check that as well. Let me check. I don't know if I can check global jet stream unless I can. I've never done like full. Okay, let's see here. See where that jet stream is at. Yeah, looks like a lot of the jet stream kind of dips in and then it kind of pushes these like hurricanes kind of away as well on the GFS here. Or at least the hurricanes are riding up along that. So I had this tornado warning. I'm going for another 22 minutes for Clarksville, Skipwith, Chase City, and Thynedale, which is going to be in Virginia, southern portion of Virginia, I should specify. And then we got a severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like, which is going on for a whole hour and 6 minutes. That's going on for a long while. Tornado possible tag, which is mostly going to be one of these little indents around in these areas here. Although still just most likely, it just still mostly looks like outflow, if anything. See if we get any updates on Tropical Helene. Last update was at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so we haven't had any updates since then. So this is still definitely still of course weakening as it's overland of course, but still bringing a lot of rain and brief areas of rotation with some of these. Still got quite a few high wind warnings as I'm looking at this, which is a lot of the high wind warnings are kind of just built up a lot. Well, they're kind of just warned along this little corridor here. So got quite a few. Well, this used to be a emergency flash flood emergency down here. Still got flash flood emergencies happening between South Carolina and also North Carolina and also up into Virginia here. And we have a new tornado warning. This is going to be for Sharpsburg. Elm City is basically going to be outside of this tornado warning in a couple of minutes. But Sharpsburg, Rockmount, Dorches. Let's see who else. Hickory, Drake, Salem, Gissemaine. The main population areas, as seen on map here, is going to be Sharpsburg, Rocky Mount, and Dorches. And this is going to be in North Carolina. See where the rotation is kind of at, which is going to be right in there. Once again, it's broad rotation, but the rotation is in that little sector right there, or this little area right here, just south of Sharpsburg. So this is something that's been kind of developing over the past couple of minutes or so, too, with this line of storm activity. So got another 10-minute tornado warning over in North Carolina for Easton, Spanish Grove, Philback Crossroads, Hannaford Crossroads, Isnan, I think I said that before, Chase City, Dinedale, Black Branch, and Finey Wood. So I got this tornado warning, this current tornado warning, which is going to be for Sharpsburg, Rocky Mount, Dorches, Gold Rock, Phillips Crossroad, and Cherry Crossroads, Drake, Hickory, Salem, and Taylor Crossroads, and Gethsemane and Whittakers. And this one is in North Carolina. This one is the one in Virginia. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning, which has another tornado possible tag on it, going for almost an hour as well. Looking at okay, so I just saw a from North Carolina, the Department of Transportation, Asheville area. Uh, looks like US 74 staying on I-40 completely flooded. Still got another some events on tornado warning over in Virginia. Continue to shelter in place. So I had 3 minutes on his tornado warning here. Now we're down to one tornado warning at the moment. Currently, the tornado warning that is for Rocky Mount, Dorches, and all the way up to Hickory and Taylor Crossroads in North Carolina. Looks like we have some tight rotation going on just north of Rocky Mount here. Could see something come out of that in the next couple scans if that is indeed tight rotation on that portion of this tornado warning storm here. So we may actually have a tornado on the ground. So looking at GR2 analysis, and it looks there may be actually a tornado on the ground. We'll have to see the next couple scans. Oh, I'm seeing a CC drop on GR2 analysis just north of Rocky Mount. We may have a tornado on the ground. We have a confirmed tornado that is on the ground just north of Rocky Mount. Radar confirmed tornado. This is going towards Dorchester and Red Oak. Oh, that we just got an update. Possibly a large tornado that's currently on the ground. Seek shelter now. This is heading towards Drake and Gold Rock in Dorchester, North Carolina. Seek shelter now. This is a possibly large tornado that's on the ground. This is the largest debris signature that we have seen in a while. I think the last time I've seen something this big on radar was Minnesota. Moving towards High Meadows and North Green right now. This is going towards Drake and Dorchester as well. Seek shelter now, as this is possibly a large tornado that's on the ground. Still waiting for the next update for the CC drop. I said that's pretty much just stalled there with the current update. This is right over North Green and High Meadows right now. Okay, we got an update. Yeah, that's a pretty sizable debris signature right there. I was gonna say this was probably a quick rotation as well, because I don't see any strong areas of rotation. So we'll have to see. Okay, guys, got a update on a CC drop. Still got pretty sizable CC drop, which is kind of getting closer to Balboro right here. Seems like this is weakening. Yeah, it's definitely weakening. Way smaller than it was earlier. Just southwest of Balboro. So I still got 4 minutes on this. Well, now 3 minutes on this tornado warning. So we'll have to see if they either continue it or they just let it expire out. Which I have a feeling if this is still possibly on the ground, but it doesn't seem like it is on the ground because that debris signature is a lot smaller as of current scan. Possibility that they extend this because they still got another 2 minutes on this tornado warning. So we'll see if they extend it or if they don't. On Radar Omega doesn't show very strong rotation on it, but that CC drop is still kind of there as of current scan. See if there's anything in Rocky Mount. So it looks like there definitely is confirmed damage from the Rocky Mount tornado. Like they just issued a new tornado warning, which is gonna be for this rotation area rotation right there. So this could be for That now we do have a new tornado warning, which is gonna be going for almost an hour at this point. Looks like 43 minutes remaining on this tornado warning, which could see a recycle on that. CC scan has not changed that much at all, but brief strong tornado possibly happened just now in that area. Looks like we'll have to see what if anything does change in the next couple minutes. Uh, Looks like the camera from top of the from I don't know if that's the university there or not where the camera is, but looks like on the news station there. Looks like yeah, there looks to be some damage that looks like it happened. Lot looks like to be quite a bit of damage too. Continue to stay in your safe place that you are currently in if you have taken shelter at this very moment, as we did just have a tornado warning that had a tornado that did drop down just a couple moments ago. Look at like hold on, let's take a look at the CC drop. So it's around that way, around the scan here, you kind of see where that debris signature kind of just absolutely just blew up right there. Now it's kind of just waiting on the next radar scan update here on the CC and all that. Because it's still kind of a little bit behind on that. But I'm looking at a couple posts, and it looks like there's definitely quite a bit of damage from this. Especially in Rocky Mount, where that initially was confirmed at. Truck flipped over, semi-truck flipped over as well. See if we, okay, wait, I think, did we get an update? Yeah, we did get a radar update. There we go. Let's see if what we get, any updates, by the way, on Helene. It is now a tropical depression, Helene. Minimum pressure 982, max sustained winds 35, moving north-northwest at 28 miles per hour. Apparently, there is a police scanner reporting major damage north of Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, from the tornado that did just touch down a couple moments ago. Still got ongoing flash flood emergencies between North and South Carolina, and also along the border of Tennessee in this area here. So I just saw a video from Mike's weather page. Lot of damage in Keene Beach, Florida. So currently it's just only seeing local news updates currently with a tornado that just touched down to Rocky Mount. Damage reports coming in from Rocky Mount. Just people just relaying information that there is reports. So they're still very behind on radar for some reason. On Radar Omega here. I don't know. I seriously don't know what's up with that. Almost. What time is it now? We're almost 10 minutes behind on radar here. What is going on? I don't know what's taking I don't know what's taking its like long. I don't know what's taking been taking so long to update. So even on Gear 2 analysis, it doesn't look like it's been updated in a while either. So it looks like we're gonna be looks like it's gonna be the waiting game for now until we get the next update for velocity on radar here. Then maybe we'll get an update. It's still really behind still for some reason. Let me just kind of switch between the two. Okay, there we go. Now it's updated. Much more broad rotation than it was earlier, but tornado warnings went on for almost half an hour, which is long well for a tornado warning. Not the longest I've seen. I saw one yesterday that was like 50 minutes long because of waterfowl. See if we can uh see if anything has changed at all. Still taking a while for this to update as usual. This is still being like very behind on radar scan for some reason. Still got another 26 minutes on this tornado warning. So what if I might need to refresh radar Omega? Let's try it. No, let's try that. Nope, that still didn't update it. Okay. So we are about 10 minutes behind again. Special weather statement. This is going to be for wind gust. Still got another 26 minutes on this tornado warning still. Latest scan at 1 o'clock, so we're now, I mean, it's updated, but now we're still 4 minutes behind. The rotation does not look impressive. I'd be surprised if they continue with this tornado warning, or if they're gonna let expire. It's gonna be a long while till it expires out if that's the case. Yeah, still very broad rotation on this warning here. So they've condensed it, but Still, once again, still not very impressive rotation on this at all. Broad rotation. Rotation's still there, but broad. Just give myself a stretch real quick. Oh. There is rotation by the one over just northwest of Greenville there. Would not be surprised if that does get a tornado warning. Oh, we're up to date now. Okay. Still, that rotation is just basically much weaker than S1 down here at this point in time. We are only 2 minutes behind in scan right now. Got another severe thunderstorm warning. It's going for an hour 3 minutes. Going for a long while, man. So we got tornado possible tag on it. Which a lot of these are starting to move towards the coastal areas. Still could see maybe a brief spin up towards this area of Virginia. Of course, we still have this going on, and we still have this going on. We are a couple minutes behind on the scan right now, so we'll have to see on the next scan if anything has changed at all. Also, I will have to end my stream in the next couple minutes anyways, too, since I will not be able to stream for much longer with this current live stream. Just waiting for this to update. Sir, radars in the past couple days have been really, really slow. Even with my internet that I'm on right now. So we got another 60 minutes on this tornado warning. New tornado warning. It's gonna be for just west of Danville. And so then this also covers Pelham in South North Carolina. And we are on current scan, which there is that little area there. So let's take a quick look at this radar here, see where it's at. And that tornado warning just got condensed a little bit more. Just waiting for this to load. Okay, there we go. That rotation is gonna be right here, just to the south of Whitfield here. That rotation that was near Greenville is basically gone at this point. So we got this tornado warning here, and of course here the newer one. But I think for the most part, a lot of this is going to be quick rotations, quick and brief rotations. Or maybe not quick rotations, but briefer rotations, and then broad rotations that are being warned throughout today. Not that we couldn't see a brief spin up, but I think for the most part, it's going to be mostly rotations that are going to be warned throughout today. So I think that's going to be good for this afternoon. There are others that are currently live streaming, like Max Velocity. I think Evan Freiberger is also live streaming as well. So I will see y'all in the next stream. I don't know when that will be, and yeah.